Maybe this is a hot take. I'm seeing so many videos of previous barbs, okay, crying, talking about how heartbroken they are about learning who Nicki Minaj is today. And there are comments like, y'all are so dramatic. Okay. I don't think it's dramatic to mourn the artist that you look up to the most or love the most being a terrible, despicable human after supporting their work for decades, literally, and learning now that they have turned their back on communities that have helped them get to the success where they are today. I don't think that's dramatic, because when you love music, it is not about so much of the artist, but tell me right now, you can close your eyes and be like, what song reminds you of getting over a breakup, a happy time in your life, a time in your life where you needed music the most? It's not about the artist necessarily, but there is a time in your life where maybe you needed strength or escape or understanding, or you needed to feel some kind of confidence. You need to look in the mirror and be like, I think to call that like dramatic is really, really unfair. But also people in comment sections being like, you guys are not loyal, or you guys are fake barbs, or I'm still going to listen to her music. I think you guys lack boundaries and self-respect. If a person goes on stage and denounces trans lives and queer identities and calls an administration that is actively trying to strip human rights away from you, for you to say, I don't give a fuck, I'm still going to listen, you need some self-reflection, and you need a little bit more confidence within yourself, and look around the people you've surrounded yourself with, because maybe you're so used to being spoken down on and disrespected that you don't mind listening to a woman who goes on a public stage in a room full of people who fucking hate you and high-five them and kiss them on the fucking forehead, okay? That being said, I am not a barb, but I have favorite songs of Nicki Minaj's, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not someone who is...
So at the end of the day, you got to take artists for who they are. Most people just know artists from the songs that they make or going to a concert. Most people do not know the artist one-on-one, and they never will. And so you have to choose what you use the person for. And that might sound like a bad statement and be like, well, you shouldn't use people. Bro, we all use each other. You're using me right now by watching my content off of me watching somebody else's content who watches Nicki Minaj's content that gave an opinion about something that a lot of people don't agree with. You use your phone to communicate with your family or to create content. You use your laptop to do work. You use your iPad to watch movies. You use your car to drive to work. You use your car to do whatever you use your car with. We use people and resources for different purposes. So, and I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but if you like her music, you like her music, regardless of where she stood or stands now. The truth is, when people start voicing their opinions and talk about how they feel about a situation, people will have to choose sides. That's at the end of the day. She has now gone into the political universe where she's talking about things that she never even got noticed for when it comes down to her success. These people who follow her, her fans, her top fans, call themselves barbs. That's cool. The problem is a barb probably doesn't identify themselves as something that is, or someone who is politically correct. So when someone voices their opinion about it and it's like, wait a minute. Why are you saying that? Like, I think obviously she did this on purpose, and a lot of people are going against her and a lot of people are still for her, diehards. But it's only going to grow her popularity. And if this is what she wants to do at the cost of popularity, let her do her. There's plenty of artists that I don't agree with the choices that they have made, but I'm not a part of their lives. I don't know every step or every trial and tribulation they went through in order for them to be where they're at. So I can't speak on that. But what I can say is I don't agree with anybody 110%. One of my favorite content creators, Anton Daniels, says this famous quote that I heard one time in a video where it's like, bro, I don't even agree with my mama 100%. So why would you expect to agree with me 100%? We're not going to agree with anybody 100%. You don't even agree with some of the past choices you made in the past 100%. You wish you would have done better. If you knew better, you would have done better. It's a hard pill to swallow, especially when you have someone at a high status like Nicki Minaj. But what I will say personally is I don't stand for that LGBTQ stuff. I live by the Holy Bible. I'm not perfect, but I don't stand for it. You know what I'm saying? Boys should be boys. Men should be men. Women should be women. It shouldn't be something where somebody gets to transform into a different gender or, you know, like, listen, bruh. At the end of the day, you were born a male or a female. That's it. You can hate it or you can love it. I really don't care. And I think that's where Nicki is right now. I mean, personally, I don't even listen to her music. I'm damn sure ain't no Barb. But what I will say is people who have status, people who have an influence, well, they have to get used to always having people against them and always having people for them. A mentor told me, Anton Daniels, again, that the effect that you have when you speak out and put your business out online or in person is you have to be okay with people disagreeing with you. It's called the Mayweather effect. People are going to pay to see you win. People are going to pay to see you lose. That's just the truth. And that's just the truth. Like you can't expect to agree with everything that a person that you like does. It's just impossible. It's impossible.
Yes, I am still a Barb. No, I don't care that she's a Trump supporter, MAGA Minaj. I do not care. I never knew her political views before, and now that I know him, still don't care. And the funny thing is y'all voted for him. She's with over half of the voting population. So why y'all mad? Like, let's just be real. Y'all need to pick something else to be mad about. So I will still be a Barb. If y'all don't want to be no Barb no more, no one cares. Literally, no one cares. She'll still have fans. She'll still be the #1 rap female in the world. It doesn't matter. But yeah.
I don't know about the #1 rap female in the world. Again, I don't listen to her, but let's just say there's going to be somebody to replace her if it's not already been done. Obviously, there are other female rappers, but that's all opinionated. The truth is, people are going to love her more and people are going to hate her more. I'm pretty sure she has fans, Barbs, that are Republicans, that are for Trump. Nobody cares because at the end of the day, we all got bills to pay, man. At the end of the day, you still are probably going to listen to her music or at the very least have her music in your mind. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can control your own aux, but when somebody else plays her music around you or you're in the club or wherever you're at and you hear Nicki, you can't control that. So at the end of the day, she's going to do her thing and you got to continue doing yours. The next day, you got to wake up and go to work. It's not really going to affect or change your life just because somebody gave their strong opinion about what they think should be done. I mean, you yourself, if you're on the whatever side, let's say you're against her and it's like, well, I'm not for that. Like, I don't like the Trump administration. I don't like what they're doing. Well, guess what? In any political situation, there are always right and wrongs that people can depict out from each party, from each person that has been in the office. You know what I'm saying? Obama made it legal for gay marriages. I'm not for that. I'm not for that. And other people are going to be like, well, I'm for it, but they didn't want Obama to be in office because he's black or for whatever reason, right? I'm not saying that's the #1 reason, but people have their reasons and people choose to focus on what is important to them. That's the truth. People focus on what's important to them. Your brain automatically does that. It's called the reticular effect. Okay, you like a car, you like a certain color of a car, then your brain is always going to pick out in traffic where that car is at. And it's like, man, I keep on seeing the same car. No, they're not buying more of that same car. Your brain is choosing what's already important to it. So when you hear something that you don't like, or when you see red and blue lights on the interstate, you're like, oh, snap, somebody got to pull it over. Why do you think everybody slows down? Because their brain pays attention to what's important. They have trained your brain to focus on what they think you should think should be important. Focus on what's important. If you don't agree with her, don't agree with her. But you never would have known where her side was at if she didn't speak about it. And you still have the choice to watch her or listen to her or not. But most people are still going to watch her because people are drawn to negativity and people are drawn to people that they actually like. It's a win-win for her. It's a win-win. It got her name in the titles. It got her name in the headlines. People who don't understand publicity are going to say, well, that's why she shouldn't have spoken about it. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. She did that on purpose.
Boys, be boys.
Amen.
Be boys. It's okay. Be boys. It's nothing wrong with being a boy. How about that?
Amen.
How powerful is that? How profound is that?
Amen.
Boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that.
The thing is, though, I did some research on her fan base. A lot of them LGBTQ. Didn't even know that. Because again, I don't listen to her type of music. But she's contradicting herself. And I can see how people are frustrated, because if you're the, whatever they call her, the barb or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like, wait, she turning on us? You know what I'm saying? She turning on us? At this point, Nicki has to be unapologetic. She has to be unapologetic. Because the problem is, when you have this much of an influence and you say something that you're for and then you take your word back, people lose trust. People start to hate you. And it's not to say people already didn't hate you, but people don't respect you. And when you don't have respect, that's when people start to lose that picture that they once had of you, that image, that first impression, those multiple impressions. Oh, she's not really who she says she is. And I get that, because there's plenty of people who I have dealt with in the real world who don't own up to what they say they're going to do. If you say you're going to work out and it's a broken promise, guess what? Dude, you're not consistent. Why would I want to be around you? You're not the type of person to work towards this goal enough for me to even want to be around you, because I know what kind of lifestyle you're living. You're not working on the weekends. You're going to the club. You're not saving your money. You're going to the casino. You're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not worried about investing. You don't want to read a book. You want to watch a YouTube video and watch Netflix. Now, shout out to the ones who watch my videos, because I'm going to put the medicine inside the candy and give you my own experience about how I am an entrepreneur, how I have strong work ethic, and how I'm building up my business from ground zero. But I'm giving you all what you want to see. So I hang around people who think like me. But if they take their word back, then I'm like, whoa, bro. Like, what? You smoking and drinking on the weekend, bro? That's so whack. You get what I'm saying? So I understand her fan base and how they're pissed and how they're blocking her. At the end of the day, though, she has to be unapologetic, because it's gonna bring in so much more people. Think about this. People who weren't Nicki fans that heard her say this probably want to listen to her music now. And nah, she's not a brand new artist, but they probably gonna listen to Nicki now. You know what I'm saying? She's gained people and fans now because she said this. You can hear it in the crowd. Dude in the crowd is saying, yeah. I don't know if he's going to listen to her music or not, but I'm pretty sure she won some people over. And the people who already were Republicans or like the Trump administration, they're more for her as well. You know what I'm saying? We're going to review a video in a couple, and it's going to be actually talking about the other artists that were on the other side, because, oh man, it was such a good point. I was like, bro, people only want to complain about what they want to complain about. They only want to pick their problems apart off of what they don't agree with. But what about the things that are actually morally wrong that you still agree with, as if the other side isn't as guilty? We're people, man. We're imperfect. Ain't nobody innocent in this world, man.
I'm so prepared for you guys not to believe me when I say this, so I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to play the video and look at you while you're looking at me while we're both watching the video, okay? Okay.
Please welcome Nicki Minaj.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute that part because it's just playing her song, bro. I ain't trying to get
I
copyright.
told you y'all were not going to believe me if I came up and I said it. So I had to play the video so you could understand. So you weren't going to call me a liar, all right? Now, in the grand scheme of things, remember, she just left with Donald Trump to the United Nations meeting trying to speak out against the atrocities that are happening in Africa against Christians. It's not happening. There's no genocide in Africa against Christians. There's about 3 genocides going on right now, and none of them are about Christianity. Okay? Now, with that being said, and we're also fully aware that on Christmas, football's halftime, child, I don't be watching that. Snoop Dogg is also doing a performance. Didn't he just do the inauguration for Trump? So when I talk about them trying to indoctrinate into the black community and raise their black percentage of voters, and I said it's been happening, I meant it's been happening. And y'all don't pay attention because you don't read nothing. Imagine our ancestors doing all that for us to be able to effing read legally in their society that we had to be fucking brought into, and you hoes aren't reading. Imagine that. Imagine my surprise when y'all are not reading or using critical thinking skills. After everybody who died to make sure everyone else.
I think she's on the side of like they're using Nicki and Snoop for the Republican side, but I'm so tired of hearing black people always be Democrats because they always talk about how the rich are trying to take from the poor. Bro, there are some poor people who turned rich and wealthy and they gotten into better situations than where they were at. And it's not because they played victim. It's not because they depended on the government. It's not because they thought that somebody was stealing from them and they could run into money some type of way. Okay, it took strategy. And I can't speak for everybody in that situation, but I've definitely seen it happen and I'm working on it on myself. So we're not here to play victim. But what I will say is if you're going to look at Snoop and Nicki as being used as puppets on the Republican side, then let's talk for Megan Thee Stallion and Quavo, who was at the not the inauguration, but some type of speech that Kamala was having. Bro, listen, bro. I grew up in high school loving the Migos. I promise you, you can ask anybody in my close circle. I only listened to Migos from 2014 to 2016. I didn't care what new song came out. I wanted to listen to Migos, Migos, Migos. I knew it word for word. I bought the culture chain. I bought the shirt. I bought the tickets when Offset was going through the divorce with Cardi B. And he canceled that in December. And I remember I got my refund back. Here's the thing. Quavo ain't qualified to be at no presidential speech. What is he? Bruh. All respect to Quavo, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I don't look at him for political advice. Neither do I look at political advice from Nicki or Snoop. They come from different backgrounds to where they're useful in certain industries, but not that one. And of course, they're harvesting these people in order to gather their influence to choose a side. And this is just what politics are. But you can't say one side is just using Nicki and then Snoop Dogg was at the inauguration of Trump. Bruh, we're not dumb. And the people who choose those sides because the person was there singing their song, twerking, dancing, crip walking, whatever, you know what I'm saying? They're lost. They're just lost. They can't think for themselves because if somebody can put a carrot in front of a donkey and the donkey's like, wait a minute, bro. Like it's on a string. I either got to have a longer neck or get this person off my back and get this carrot. But you don't hear people talking about the other side when the other side also used celebrities and artists as well, black artists specifically, for their gain. It's insane. It really is insane. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below as well. And subscribe if you like the content so far.
When Cardi did it, y'all was quiet. When Meg Thee Stallion had her ass up on that stage twerking for Kamala Harris, nobody had shit to say. But now that it's Nicki, everybody has a problem. For whatever reason, the Barbs are mad, the internet is on fire, and Nicki Minaj obviously just started a MAGA revolution, and I am here for it. Let me tell y'all, sis is not only the queen of rap, but she's definitely giving queen of politics, because the way she shut down that stage with Erica Kirk over the weekend, baby, she definitely did her thing. The fact that Nicki stood on that stage and stood for what she believed in spite of the backlash that she obviously knew that she was going to get from the Democrats, from the Barbs, as well as everybody else, speaks volumes to me. That woman stood on that stage as a mother, as a wife, as an entrepreneur, as an artist, and she did her damn thing. Do you hear me? If she was to ever cross over into politics, she definitely would have my vote because she did a hell of a job in spite of what everybody got to say. She was not ghetto, she was not ratchet, and she damn sure wasn't giving hoodlum, okay? And I feel like that's why everybody really...
You know, that's so crazy to even think about. I'm glad she brought that point up because this is one of the first times that I've seen a black woman in the hip hop industry not be exploited for her sexuality, which is very embarrassing to the culture of black people, that women are just looked at as these sexual creatures when it comes down to things that are more important than just sex. Like that's the truth, man. Megan Thee Stallion twerking at a damn presidential speech, bro. That's what you have to offer? No other type of ethnicity did that besides blacks. Make that make sense, man. Is this how low they think we can be influenced? And I don't even want to say we. Exclude me out the group. Just go ahead and just kick me out the group chat, man. I'm not part of it. I can see through the BS. I can see through the fake influence. And a lot of you can too. But some of you who are watching this probably don't. And you probably like, you know what? She said what she said and I'm not for it. How are you going to make music and then you support the LGBTQ or whatever the hell she got going on with her fan base and then go against it? People change their minds. And that's exactly why I said a couple videos ago, she's going to have to stand on her word. She's going to have to stand on business. Ain't that what everybody say? I'm going to stand on business. What that mean? You stand on what you say. Don't you want people to stand for what they say? Don't you want your paycheck to come in every 2 weeks? You don't want them to miss, right? So yeah, she might have changed her mind. Who knows? I don't know. Again, I don't listen to her music. But what I do know is that I am glad that she stood on business and didn't really exploit herself in any type of way with twerking to convince people. The truth hurts. That saying was made for a reason. The truth hurts.